Alright, so we're live. So what's going on, everybody? Why are we doing a live here? Wow, the market is going nuts. Well, in fact, I've been expecting this for quite some time now. A lot of reasons as to why I say this, and let me make this clear. Nothing I say is financial advice. So everything is just my opinion. So if you think I'm a financial advisor, well, then that's not the right way to think, right? Everything I say is purely out of my experience, and so don't take my word for it. I'm just somebody who looks at the chart. So let's look at this, right? The reason why I'm saying this is because it's been quite some time. I have made a video on Bitcoin and crypto in general because there's nothing really interesting about it these days, right? So we just have to look from a very long-term perspective. A very so we look at a weekly chart, okay, first off the bat. And I'm not using a lot of metrics to look at this, right? But then there's a lot of things we can do. So first off, we have very low stochastics. We have been going downwards since we hit the peak at 74k, right? And that's sort of, well, it's just a downward trend right now. And if you hit the bottom here at zero or close to zero, and we rebounded, but didn't really get too far up. And now at let's see, June 3rd, you see, is that's the other high. We made another high here. Like I mean, basically the two wicks here. This is lower than the June 3rd is lower than May 20th, and so we're going on a downward trend right now, right here, right. And if you just look at the candlesticks, right, it's a lower high. That's a bearish sign, and you see we're making an M pattern like so, right? And so if we do complete the pattern, necklines approximately here, give or take, and you look at this, right? If we come down to about 61k, and that just means we're gonna go further down, and this is going to be a very lasty retracement back to 50k. And you see there are no real support at 50k. There's a tiny one here, and then the rest are all the way back to where we hit the previous cycle, right? But look at the volume. I mean, sure, we're looking at MEXC. We could look at we could look at the index because you can't just focus on one exchange. But you see still, right? Because all the institutional players are now in the game. So back then, the reason why we could get so high up was just a lot of hype and a lot of FOMO, and just when you look at an altcoin, when there's no like no volume whatsoever, the price can spike easily. But it's just that it's not stable. It's not gonna. There's no longevity. So just looking at some support here. So this is a good support here. Let's look at a couple more. There's another support here. 51, 52. You can say 52k. And there's not much here. It's a smaller one right about here. 46.7. But you see, like recently, as of like a year, like end of last year, there isn't really much to do here because we were at 40-ish k, and we built a flag and we just pumped, right? So nothing in between. So we could easily come back down, which is quite concerning, right? Like I would just assume a lot of institutional players are selling. But if you look at this, right, and I'm still looking at the weekly, right? Look at the volume is waning. Look at this. Look at the volume here. It's waning, right? Well, you know, price is going up, but you have a divergent right there. So, what can we do? Look at look at the moving averages, so spread out. The 21 and the 200 is like miles away. It's not looking good. I don't even need to look at the monthly, right? So, daily. What does the daily tell us? Again, I still see the M. I mean, this could go down like that, the symmetric triangle, and this could kind of come back up. We can redraw this a little nicer. And do like this, right? So you can expect this price to come down to this trend line, this symmetric triangle. Let's make it more yellow. Right. So if it hits here, that's 61.7. That's close to the support. Remember, like, I talked about this so long. Like, there's so many touch points here, right? If you keep testing it, it's gonna eventually break. We did break back, you know, break out and break back. So this is interesting. This is tough. But you see, the 200 SMA is very far from all these other moving averages. So it has to come back, or at least to touch it if you really want to rebound. I'm sure the stochastic RSI will come back up eventually, but it's just a matter of time. But it could always stay down too. Nothing is guaranteed. But you see, like, both the daily and the weekly are talking about the same thing. There's no real difference. It's all these moving averages, they're all pointing down. Yeah, this is the 200 is curving. It's almost like flat now. Like it's turning, right? Not as aggressive. So what does that mean? I will short whenever we get back to a high point. I wouldn't long at the moment. So yeah, for our now when we look at 4 hours, we're only looking at a short time frame, like a short period here. We're no longer zooming out. So you see here, so we had a double top, so that means that's like an M by itself, right? So if that's a neckline, then the target we have yet to reach. Well, technically we should be at this trend line, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. And the 21 crossing the 200 is no good. And the 50 for the 4 hour, what's 50? 50 is the red line, right? So we had a death cross right here. So those are all bad signals. So everything crossed the 200. So this is just going to keep going. It's just going to keep dumping. We might find some hope at 60k, 60-ish. But you see, the stochastics are not even done. It could go down and stay down. It could go all the way. That's why if you look at all the altcoins, they haven't been doing so well these days. Okay. So that's the 4 hour. There is a lot of support down here, and this is, we can call this a region too. We can draw a rectangle here. Go from all the way here. So anywhere here could be essentially a support. Let's see if there are any hope for a bullish run, like a scenario. So let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour. Well, I mean, we do see some sort of trend line coming down this way, and then another one sort of right here. So if we just ignore the moving averages, we sort of form this little falling wedge, which could break us back up at to 69K if the stochastics RSI behaves quick like normally, because this should curve and go and rebound, right? And if the RSI also can rebound, that's even better. Falling price, falling volume, kind of. It's actually bullish, but can we really hold on to that? If we break this trend line and it just goes all the way down, then this theory no longer plays out. So let me snap back the moving averages. So yeah, I mean, let's look at some. Let's see if we can find. So it's time to get rid of the stochastic and just look at the RSI for now, like that. So far, no, nothing is really moving back up. 15-minute. Again, you see this? The white line is way below, and everything is reversed. 21, 50, 80, 100, 200. That's a bearish sign. And you see, we attempted to make a reversal, and then that should have been a shortened point, right? And then we're back down. So it's forming flags here, bear flags, bear flags. Everything's a bear flag. So that's why we should look at smaller time frames. 5-minute. You see, well, if this would stay sideways, then that could possibly bring us back. 3-minute. Yeah, you see, we could have, if this continues to dump, RSI starts to revert, like reverse. We could do it, possibly. Yeah, not really. I don't see any reversal. But I saw this earlier before the live stream. Notice the 3-minute, how the price keeps falling, starting from here. Look at where the stochastic RSI goes. It's going up. It's like it's turning up, right? But look at the price. It's down, up, and down and up. So it's sort of like sideways, but heading down in a way. That's a very bad sign, because look here. Normally, let's find a good scenario. Normally, price should go it should go up while the stochastics go up, right? If it goes down, stochastics should go down, right? Come back up and come back down again. So the price direction should coincide with the stochastic RSI direction. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And in a normal situation, look at this one. So it starts right here, overbought, dump, and then tries to recover, doesn't work, comes back down, price goes down further downwards, comes back up, tries to recover, doesn't work, and then heads back down, and then the price follows. So it just stays down, and then when it goes up, that means, and then the price doesn't really move, it goes back down. It goes down, and then comes back up, it doesn't move. So in these situations, that means the stochastic RSI doesn't push the price back up. So there's so much selling pressure. So eventually, there's just boom, done. Of course, like when you're looking at 3-minute, there's going to be a lot of fluctuations. But if you look at like a wider time frame, you won't see as much of a movement. But what I'm saying is, we shouldn't be getting a pump in the stochastic, yet the price is falling. because then you have momentum to come back down, right? This is the peak, right? So then that means this would go like that and down and down. The price will continue to downward move. So the 1 minute, there's nothing. There's really no point in looking at the 1 minute, but we're just doing it for fun. Okay, let's look at how the price is doing. So stochastic curving, the price you can expect it to continue downward. It's just touching these. This is the 80 moving average. Touches that, comes back down, or even or it could touch the 100. You see, we touched the 100 here, came back down here. Here, a lot of them were touching the 21. So these are all acting as resistance right now. Now, actually, like I was saying, let's look at the index instead, and look at the volume. Let's look at all the way back there. It's just the weekly. Now you see what I'm saying, right? Like, I don't know how the index works, but these volumes are very strange, right? Like we remember on MEXC we had low volume and then high volume. This index doesn't. Oh, this is Binance. Okay, that's even more bizarre. Binance has got so little volume these days, huh? Okay, let's look at the all-time index here. BTC index. Yeah, there's a lot of trading volume here too. It's hard to say, really. But in any case, you see the stochastics are the same for both charts. So we just have to look at this pattern here. Are we actually forming the M pattern? And can the 1 hour save us? The RSI is at the 0 basically, or 1. There's no divergence, so that means we could, and there's no inverse head and shoulder, and no double bottom either. I mean, we have a double bottom for the RSI, stochastic, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, there's no reversal at all. And remember, this is Sunday night. It's not gonna have a lot of trading volume. And once I mean, Asia's waking up, so they see this, they're gonna fear, right? And then they're gonna exit their positions. Is Tether dominance doing well? Yeah, it's going up. People are selling. So in this case, people are selling. It's even breaking the 200 SMA. That's no good. 5% is really high. We were at 4-ish for so long. I mean, we were at 5 here, but that was like 2 months ago. Yeah, really nothing much to see. I just wanted to show you guys what I think about the current situation. I mean, ever since like early June, that's what I've been thinking. Like, there's really nothing to see here. Huge resistance here now. So everything is like, you get a lower, so many lower highs. This is a lower high, and then this is a lower high. So we have 1, 2, 3 lower highs. And if we can get a lower low, then yeah, so that's what we want to see. We have 1 lower low, I mean, well, one low, yeah. And then if we have another lower low, finish off about here, even closing at 57.9 or even 58, that's another lower low. Then we have a downward trend. Then that's possibly the end of the bull run, at least for now. Don't forget, usually there's like a 6 month delay for the halving. It will eventually go back up if you look at the long term, like monthly chart. I mean, monthly is still dumping. Like stochastics are heading down, but it's we could do this, for a monthly chart. We could do a flag here, right? We could just consolidate here, and then the 21. Well, that's a bit too far fetched right now, but we could say, okay, well, the previous high here at 61 ish, right? For the monthly chart, no, you were still above it. That's what It could be an argument to just keep the bull run going, and you never know. The stochastic could curve, and we could head back up. But yeah, we gotta be the devil's advocate and kind of have arguments on the both sides, right? But that's basically all I want to talk about today. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all the notifications. So when we are live next time, you know about that situation. And I'll see you guys